What's going on, everybody? We're back with a brand new YouTube video. Today we're going to be trying 12 different pizza chains from America. We've got a special guest today from Canada. We have Michael the Canadian Mattis. Michael, tell us, man, what are you looking for in a pizza? You traveled all the way from Canada. What are you looking for?
You know, there's a lot of different things that I look for in my pizza. Firstly, is a distinct flavor. I like that first bite experience just to be a great one, you know? Flavor's gotta explode in my mouth. Secondly, is putting an emphasis on the toppings. I don't like too much bread. You know, I like the thin crust pizzas a little bit more. And lastly, I need good quality pepperoni on my pizza.
For this ranking, we are just going to be having the pepperoni pizza from each different pizza chain just to keep it fair through all across the board here. We're just looking for the crust, the pepperoni, the cheese, and the sauce. Plus, I think we have to pay a little bit attention to the price.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're getting a great pizza, but the price is super high, probably not feasible.
Absolutely not. I also think the pizza has to be filling, you know, a good quality pizza with good ingredients. It's gonna make you full when you eat it. As a big guy, that's something that's important to me as well.
And as a small guy, I don't wanna be too much filled up. So let's get straight into it. All right, Mattis, first one we have is Marco's Pizza, established in 1978.
That's a long time ago.
And that's what the pizza's looking like. First thoughts, what are you thinking?
I think the presentation looks fantastic, you know? I think pepperonis are pretty evenly spread. I'm seeing a little bit of offsetting in the crust. One side is a little bit thicker than the other, but generally I'd say that's a good looking pizza.
All right, let's get straight into it. There's a good amount of seasoning on this, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself in this. I think this is a solid B-tier pizza, 84. I'm gonna put it somewhere 84? In the middle, 84. Solid B-tier pizza.
I was gonna go with the 82. I think, you know, I think it tastes good. I'd say it's slightly above just a regular run-of-the-mill pizza, but I don't think it's anything too crazy or special.
Pretty good job, Marcos.
Kicking things off with a pretty good score from Marcos. Let's see what's next.
Next up, we have QT Quick Trip Kitchen personal sized pizza.
As a gas station pizza, I'm not expecting much, so we'll see where this goes.
I'm not expecting much either, and especially now that I'm looking at this. That looks like a whole lot of cheese, not much sauce, but let's give it a shot. That is horrible compared to what we just had.
It's very doughy and very cheesy, not a lot of sauce. I'm not getting much at all with the sauce. You know, for a gas station pizza, as someone who's not expecting much, I don't think it's the worst thing that you could have.
This is a 64, this is a D.
I was gonna give it a 72.
Quick Trip could do a little bit better on your personal size pizza.
Quick Trip. Had we done the regular slices, probably would have been a different outcome.
Next up, we have a St. Louis specialty, Emo's Pizza.
Okay.
Now this one, look at that. Thin crust, and it also has a special kind of cheese called Provel cheese. It's kind of like a provolone and some other kind of cheese that's also mixed in the bunch. So it's got a little bit of different flavor profile.
I gotta stop you right there. Before we try this presentation looks terrible to me.
It looks kind of too orangey, right? All right, let's go for it.
All right.
It's almost spicy to me. There's like a kick to it that I kind of like, but I don't know if I would get like tired of that after having it a while.
I think it's starting to grow on me a little bit. It was very different than what I was expecting, but this is actually pretty good to me. I'm giving this a 77.
I'm giving it a solid 80. Emo's, you know, you did all right, right?
Not too bad.
Emo's not available everywhere, but if you can find it, it's not bad.
Dominos Classic Pizza chain. Mattis, presentation-wise, what are you thinking so far?
It's decent, you know, I like the pepperoni distribution on the pizza. Crust is looking solid. I think that's a decent looking pizza. I'd give it just presentation alone, I'd give it probably a B+.
It looks like a good Domino's pizza, honestly. It looks like they cooked it right. Well, let's get into it. It had a great presentation, but there's like hardly any flavor in this. We just had the Emo's, which was like popping out with the flavor. Right. I feel like this is just like, you know, barely called the pizza. There's the tomato sauce has no flavor in it at all.
Yeah, I really couldn't agree with you more. This tastes just very doughy, not a lot of seasoning. I'm honestly not a big fan.
But the crust might be the saving part for this.
You know what? I've always thought of Domino's as just your run-of-the-mill pizza.
That being said, mid is gonna be 73.
I was gonna say 75.
Okay.
Perfect.
Right in the middle,
Right,
C.
Domino's looked a 10, but fell flat with the flavor, unfortunately.
Next up, we got another gas station pizza, a classic. Casey's, probably more known for their breakfast pizza.
It's interesting. It doesn't look like any of the other pizzas we've had.
It's holding up its foundation, but if I'm just looking at this, it doesn't look like it has a firm foundation.
Yeah, that is very true. The cheese looks very melted onto the pizza.
It looks fake. I don't like the look of it. It's given like a blue collar kind of worker vibe to it. Like you're coming in on your lunch break, you're a construction worker, you're blue collar, you come in, and this is the kind of pizza that you're having.
Driving my pickup truck, hard hat in the passenger seat. That's what I'm getting from it, for sure. This is actually really good. I'm really enjoying this. Something about it being a gas station pizza, I think it's significantly overperforming. I'm giving this an 85.
I'm gonna go an 81. I don't think we've seen anything too crazy so far. Overall, pretty good job, Casey's.
Casey's, a gas station pizza, finds its way at the top?
All right, we have a classic right here.
Okay.
Little Caesars pizza. This pizza is not known for the quality or the taste. This pizza is known just to be so prevalent in any get-togethers, parties. You can go into Little Caesars, and I don't know if they do this anymore, but it was basically like show up, get a hot and ready pizza, and leave.
Interesting.
You didn't even
Okay.
need to order ahead.
You know, I have to say, the presentation of the pizza is almost picture perfect. To me, this looks like a good slice.
What are we saying here? I've never heard picture perfect and Little Caesars in the same breath.
I think just looking at the pizza itself, we got solid pepperoni distribution here. The crust looks evenly risen. Yeah, I think that looks like a solid, that's almost a picture perfect pizza, if I may say myself.
All right, well, let's give it a shot here, man, and see what you think. It tastes so cheap.
It's almost laughably bad.
The cheese isn't good, the pepperoni isn't good, the sauce isn't good, and the crust isn't good. I'm gonna go 58.
61.
Throw this in the F's. Even though it's a good value, it is not a good pizza, folks. Little Caesars, step up the game a bit.
Yeah, Little Caesars is gonna make its way at the bottom. Probably not a big surprise there.
Another classic, Papa John's.
Better get you some, huh?
I think that this one is really good. It's got great quality. What do you think?
I think that's a good looking presentation as well. Looks like a perfectly round pizza, well sliced, great pepperoni distribution. I'm liking what I see so far.
Let's see what you think.
I'm getting a hint of sweetness right away. I think it's pretty good, but it's definitely different than any of the pizzas that we've had so far.
It's heavier on the toppings.
I agree. I think this is my favorite so far as well. I'm giving it an 87.
Papa John's, for being a chain pizza, is so underrated in my opinion. The people that pick Domino's or Little Caesars over it, I do not understand that at all. I'm gonna say this gets a 93. I think it literally does the job whenever you need a pizza.
Papa John, you make a good pizza.
Papa John and their fresh ingredients finds their way at the top of the leaderboard.
Next up, we've got Sam's Club. Mattis, have you had the Costco pizza before?
I have, and you know what? I will say this does look a little bit different. I was expecting something a little bit more similar to the Costco pizza, but that being said, Costco pizza is fantastic, so I have high expectations for Sam's Club.
I would say to lower those expectations immediately because that does not look like Costco pizza. This is greasy, no foundation at all. Look at that flop. Look at that Sam's Club flop. The crust is literally as flavorless as possible. It's so soggy.
It's a little bit different, but I enjoy it. I think it's doughy, it's cheesy, light on the sauce.
This is not pizza that you would ever want. Like this is so undesirable. This is leftover, greasy, musky pizza.
I'm gonna have to, I think our opinions on this are very differing. I am absolutely loving this. I like the thinner crust. I like that the crust doesn't take away from the toppings themselves. This is a solid 93.
This is a 64. The taste is okay. Everything about it is just toddler made this.
Bring Sam's Club to Canada. We need it.
If you like a big cheesy grease ball, I guess Sam's Club might be the place for you.
Next up, we have Mod Pizza. Have you ever heard of Mod Pizza?
I have not heard of Mod Pizza.
Mod Pizza is known for basically modification. You can do whatever you want on the pizza. Small pizzas cook really fast and thin. So This might be your vibe.
Interesting. We'll see. You know, mod in Toronto slang, it means crazy. It's slang for crazy. So
you think? Let's see if the pizza's crazy. I don't love those pepperonis.
Oh God.
The pepperonis taste fake. There's no flavor on this pizza.
I think everything tastes bad. This is just not a good pizza.
The sauce is actually good. The problem is there's no sauce on this.
What is that?
Yeah.
I see a little bit of tomato sauce right there, and that's it.
There's no sauce on this thing. If there was, this could be potentially probably a B.
Yeah, this to me is terrible. I'm giving it 55.
What?
Yeah,
All right.
This is like the worst.
It's not
pizza
that
I've
bad.
ever
I'm gonna
had.
go 77.
It's so bland and flavorless. Mod Pizza, stay out of Canada. You're gonna get canceled. Canada's gonna hate you because your pizza's terrible.
Here I was thinking Mod could have dethroned Papa John's, but maybe the next pizza giant can.
Next up, we have Pizza Hut. And I know what you're thinking. You boys should have actually gotten the full-size pizza pie, and Mattis explained to us why we didn't. Whatever we got is what we got, so this is what we're trying. And what we're getting with right here is just a what the heck. Unless if you're in like the 3rd grade, and you're just got that low appetite, you kind of just have that sedentary lifestyle, you're not doing a whole lot, you're gonna need something more than this.
My perception on Pizza Hut is a D-tier pizza.
Well, let's go for it. The style of the personal pan, you get a lot of crust. Nothing about it is all that bad though.
Not at all. Based on my perception, I'm pleasantly surprised, but it's not great. It's okay.
I'll give it a 71.
Go to 67.
Keep them in Canada or take them away from Canada.
I don't see a need for it, personally. I think kick him out. Canada doesn't need Pizza Hut. We're done with
Pizza Hut, you're leaving Canada. I'm sorry.
No one out pizzas the Hut, huh? We found a little different.
Next up, we have Deweys Pizza. If you haven't had Deweys Pizza, they're only in like 3 or 4, I think maybe 4 or 5 states. So they're not everywhere, but this is one of those classic chains that we have around us.
The pizza looks great. It looks like a movie perfect pizza. If I was watching a movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I saw this pizza, I think this looks like it is pulled straight out of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I don't know what that means, but let's try it. Fresh, good ingredients.
You can tell this is a higher quality pizza. I would love this pizza to be in Canada. I think this would be an exceptional addition to the country, giving this a 91.
For what we're having, this is not a fair fight. Deweys is on a whole nother level. It kind of deserves to be on that kind of upper echelon scale. So, and since it is on this, I have to give this a 98. It blows everything out of the water.
Deweys, please. We need you in Canada.
Probably not fair having Deweys go off against all these other places, but oh well.
All right, last but not least, Papa Murphy's. So we gotta do our own cutting on this one, Mattis.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys have anything like this in Canada.
We do not, as far as I know, especially as a chain.
So essentially, Papa Murphy's, you go inside and they will prepare it for you, plastic wrap it, and you go home and you bake it yourself. So you ready?
I am ready.
Big bubble trouble here. The sauce is a little bit bland but weird at the same time. Very greasy and it's very messy. I don't understand the business model behind this, but at the same time, I respect the business model nonetheless. Having to bake this yourself kind of defeats what a pizza is all about. The unnecessary business model brings it up, but the business model itself brings it back down.
First, I gotta go pick it up.
Right.
Then I gotta bake it, and then I have to cut it.
Yes. They solved the problem by creating a problem, which created 2 problems.
I'm seeing this as a plan ahead type of pizza. You know, you got someone coming over later today, maybe grab a Papa Murphy's, right?
Okay? And tell me right now, Mattis, would you want to grab a Papa Murphy's in Canada?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what's our score right here?
I'd give it a 78.
Very average. I'm gonna have to give this a 68. Nothing too special here. The pizza's nothing great. And then obviously having to bake it yourself just takes it out on you.
So Papa Murphy's, in the end, could unfortunately not pull through.
Michael, after trying all these different pizza places out, what is your final thoughts about them?
I enjoyed them all, most of them, except Little Caesars. It was terrible. And Mod is terrible too. Papa John's was probably the best value pizza.
Okay.
And I think Deweys was probably the best overall.
Okay.
Then I'd say Casey's might be the best if you're in a rush. Surpriser, for sure. If you're in a rush, like you said, blue collar guy, lunch break, need a pizza, grab a Casey's.
Okay. Well, thank you, man, for coming out. If you want to see Michael the Canadian Menace again in more videos, guys, let me know in the comments. But anyways, we'll see you next time. Peace!